War has always been the harshest teacher. It strips comfort, exposes weakness, and punishes poor preparation without hesitation. The men who survived the battlefields of the Second World War did not rely on luck. They relied on discipline, systems and habits forged under relentless pressure. From the frozen outskirts of Stalingrad to the burning sands of Alamein, survival followed patterns. Those patterns form a blueprint that still holds value today. This is not about romanticizing hardship. It is about understanding the principles that kept ordinary men alive in extraordinary circumstances. The first pillar of the blueprint was preparation before crisis. Soldiers who survived longest were rarely the strongest or fastest. They were the most prepared. Equipment was inspected daily, boots were dried, weapons were cleaned, water supplies were checked before thirst became urgent. Ammunition was counted before it ran low. Preparation reduces panic. When systems are in place, reaction becomes automatic. You can apply this immediately. Check your essential gear before you need it. Maintain tools routinely. Anticipate problems before they arrive. In war, small oversights became fatal. In life, they become preventable crises. The second pillar was control of resources. On every front, supply lines were fragile. Rations were stretched. Water was rationed carefully. Fuel was guarded. Waste was unacceptable. Units that managed resources effectively maintained operational strength, while others, well, they deteriorated. Modern survival thinking often focuses on stockpiling. The wartime lesson is different, though. Management matters more than accumulation. Know what you have. Use only what you must. Preserve reserves. Track consumption realistically. Discipline with resources, you see, extends endurance. The third pillar was situational awareness. Men survived because they paid attention. They scanned horizons. They listened during halts. They noticed changes in wind, sound, and routine. In contested regions near Normandy, a sudden silence in birds or civilians behaving unusually could signal danger. Awareness is not paranoia. It's observation without distraction. These days, distraction is pretty much constant. Practicing awareness means looking up, noting exits in buildings, observing the terrain before you cross it, and recognizing patterns in your environment. Survival often begins with noticing what others ignore. The fourth pillar was adaptability. Battle plans, well, they rarely survive first contact. Weather shifted, supply convoys were delayed. Terrain proved harsher than expected. Units that adapted quickly endured, while those rigid in their thinking, they faltered. Adaptability requires mental flexibility. If one route is blocked, you choose another. If equipment fails, you improvise with whatever tools are available. If conditions change, you change your approach. Survival is dynamic, not static. The fifth pillar was movement with purpose. Whether advancing or retreating, experienced soldiers avoided wandering without direction. Every movement had intent. Patrols were planned. Routes were selected based on cover and terrain. Random movement wastes energy and invites exposure. Apply this by planning before acting. Identify objectives clearly. Choose efficient paths. Conserve effort. Energy wasted early becomes weakness later. The sixth pillar was physical conditioning aligned with reality. Wartime endurance was not built on gym routines. It came from marching with weight, digging, lifting, and operating under fatigue. The body adapted to functional demand. True readiness means, training for practical capability. Can you walk long distances steadily? Can you carry weight without injury? Can you function when tired? Conditioning rooted in real movement, it builds resilience. The seventh pillar was hygiene and health discipline. Disease claimed countless lives in wartime. Clean water, proper waste disposal, foot care, and basic sanitation prevented unit collapse. Trench foot, dysentery and infection spread quickly among careless troops. Personal hygiene is often, underestimated in survival discussions. Clean wounds immediately, keep feet dry, rotate clothing, protect water sources. Health preserved is strength maintained. The eighth pillar was controlled communication. Loose talk cost lives, Information was shared carefully and only when necessary. Clear signals replaced chaotic shouting. The chain of command prevented confusion. In modern terms, clarity prevents crisis. Communicate directly. Avoid spreading unverified information. Keep instructions simple and understood. Order reduces risk. The ninth pillar was emotional control. Fear is natural. Panic is destructive. Veterans learned to manage fear through repetition, routine, and trust in training. Action replaced paralysis. You build emotional control through exposure and practice. It's about simulating stress in controlled environments, really putting yourself to the test. Then you make decisions under pressure and, importantly, you take the time to reflect afterward. Confidence? It grows from competence. The final pillar was mutual reliance. No one survived alone for long, that's just the truth of it. Units depended on one another, and trust was built through shared hardship and consistent behaviour. Having a reliable partner increased your odds dramatically. Even outside combat, survival improves with trusted allies. It's wise to build strong networks, share knowledge, and support others along the way. Isolation, it just magnifies vulnerability. This war-tested blueprint is not complicated. Prepare before crisis. Manage resources carefully. Stay aware. Adapt quickly. Move with intent. Train functionally. Protect health, communicate clearly, control emotion, and rely on dependable allies. These principles were forged in the harshest environments of the 20th century. They are not outdated relics. They're disciplined habits shaped by necessity. History offers more than stories. It offers patterns. The men who endured the extremes of global conflict did so through structure, not chance. Their blueprint remains relevant wherever uncertainty exists. If you value practical survival principles grounded in real history, subscribe to the channel and share this with someone who understands that resilience is built long before it is tested.